Greetings. We are on October 26, 2024. We are on Gpms North America representative meeting. And we have with us a lot of people from Canada and the United States. And Rick, he is living in Romania. And thank you so much, Rick, to be with us. Rick, I would like for you, if possible, because you know there are so many things that already happens with the X 3.3 solar flare and more than that. I would like also to start with a small video and
The bifurcation coding is being integrated at this time, and the bifurcation event confirmed as commencing. The instructions with the provided X 3.3 solar flare energetics are as follows. With the acknowledgement that this X flare is customized and directed for individuals being positioned on the highest timeline of the bifurcation event. The procedure is to consciously take the green healing love energetic light component of this flare into the top center of the head. Direct it down into the 33 vertebrae of your humanoid vessel to your root chakra and send it up through your core prana energetic pillar, connecting back with the sun. Repeat this procedure again with the golden light Christos consciousness down through your spine and connect it back to the sun. This will also result in some miraculous healing for some, and will energetically uplift all souls to some degree. It is still possible to have more natural bifurcation events for divine alignment purposes. The X flare has been clearly specified and divinely signified through its time of around 3:33 a.m., its intensity, and the correlation with the 33 vertebrae of the humanoid vessel. Note: some divine vessels only have 29 vertebrae now, for as they have evolved with a disintegration of the 4 tailbones, however, the process remains the same. To go through the spine to the bottom of where the root chakra begins. This is a substantial divine event. This flare originated from the stairway sunspot. Love, light, and gratitude to all. Rick Jewers. This photo taken by Sister Marcela Tudoriu near Făgăraș, Romania today is also significant and divinely indicates confirms the 33 vertebrae codices being integrated, especially in Romania today, and mentioned in the most recent update here. You will see in the photo what resembles an X-ray of a humanoid vessel laying on its tummy with about 17 back vertebrae shown, and a slider transitioning structure below near the bottom of the photo. It is also important to know that the picture was taken about 38 miles in a straight line from the Mount Busigi Sphinx, and approximately 33 miles from the base of the Mount Busigi Pyramidal Complex. Master numbers involved 33, 38, 11, 29. Thank you, Sister Marcella. Love and light. Rick Jewers. Matthew 24, verse 33. Right at the door. The stairway X-flare came through the door at the top of the stairway. Love, light, and gratitude to all. Rick Jewers. A divine hunkering up is commencing and will continue to about November 10th of linear time. A divine energetic space has been created as a result of the bifurcation to take a seat in the observation post. A destruction of the old programs are at play. Once the turmoil settles, there will be a mass exodus into the true salvation, the promise of the will of God Prime Creator. One can only be fooled so many times, then a breakdown of the illusions occur. The Illuminati agenda of buying souls cannot compete with truth, and it falls, as the blinders come off, another level of consciousness can see, and escapes the control matrix. Love and light. Rick Jewers.
So if I may, basically what Beatrice has on the screen is what I had written, which is a divine missive that was given several days ago. Is there any specific questions you have on that, Beatrice?
Yes, so I saw that it is also about the X 3.33, and also it was another solar flare. I saw it last night, 1.8, also on X already. And you said there that will be many. And what exactly it is about inside, and to what refer, because some people are sending also messages about a lot of non-understanding and what it is about, so they do not know if this refer to them or not, or and exactly what happened, and if we pass on the fifth dimension or we are still before the exercise. Yeah, so what really happens where we are at this time?
Mm. Well, excellent. Everything I put out that ones see it, no matter where, it means it is for them, whether it registers or in with their consciousness or resonates at that time. What needs to be understood is that we have what we call advanced waves of consciousness, and we have subsequent waves of ones beginning their journey into a super consciousness, is also what's occurring. So, having said this, no, none of us are in the fifth dimensional full environment yet. However, what is occurring is many are at least fifth dimensional energetic beings, if you will. And what we're doing is migrating this reality to at least the full fifth dimensional state of being here on Earth. So, to do that, what it involves is the actual incarnated divine ones that are connected straight to source. All are, of course, but in different degrees, that are able to work with the energy, because all of creation is energy, and we work with this to uplift the energetic values, the polarity of it, and the density of it. So we need to be divine ones in this actual space, Earth, to transition it forward. So everything that I put out, and a lot of times things will, if you will, fly over one's heads, but that is fine. It just means it's not for them at that time. And then what's important is the ones that it does resonate with, then it's for them to follow and do what the divine instructions are. And it cannot be again refuted, ignored by any of us that know that it is true. And also what we are doing divinely with the designated numbers that are on these X flares, if you will, and even M flares, and also the times of them. Divinely, it's more signs to show ones that this is actually important, that it is divine. And divinely 17 is usually the father prime creator energy. Um, Number signature 18 is the mother, if you will, but it depends on what is occurring with the energy that is being delivered from the sun to earth at any given time, what its divine applications is. So as an example, what was mentioned in what you had up here earlier about the divine instructions at bringing the light in through the top of the head and down through the humanoid vertebrae, the backbone, but the entirety of it, without anybody perhaps knowing this yet. I'd mentioned it, I think, last night or in an interview I did the other day, that uh, when Femke and I went to bed the night prior to the X33 flare, when I laid down, I was given the divine message for Femke and I to bring down the energy with the same instructions what's in the post for the 33 vertebrae. And what occurred, like about 12 hours later when I got up through the day, then I had seen that an actual X flare with 3.3, if you will, was applied to this. So then I put out the missive that it's for all that it resonates with to do it. And also, very quickly, in Romania, with a beautiful sister Marcella, she captured the photograph in the sky of what looks like a humanoid laying down on their tummy that just took an X-ray of all their back. Now, when you add all of these things together, you see that it's not by chance. So the signs are becoming more prolific, and the accuracy of them cannot be ignored, cannot be denied, cannot be refuted by those that are able to see them. Now, with the things I put out, there's still ones that it would not make any sense to yet, and that they cannot connect the dots. But nevertheless, it does not mean that it's very important and very valid. It just they have not progressed to that area of consciousness and their divine development to recognize that it is very real and very valid. So, to keep it short and simple with that, yes, it does pertain to all of the souls that are going forward. And this is only one example of this. And if you look at the other example today, we have right now, Divine Sister Nya is in Italy, and we have brother Tony and Sister Nessa are in Scotland on their way to Iona, perhaps even there. They are doing a very important higher divine specialist mission, if you will, at this time. And what they are working with is, to keep it simple, is the mother and father energy, but also they're doing applications to mitigate the flooding on the earth as well. It's all connected, it's what we do. So, having said that, what comes in today is X1 decimal 8, but remember, 18 is mother, and it come in at 717, if you will, and it's got the father's signature on it as well. So you will see this time and time again, how it is accurately assigned to current events. And again, it cannot be ignored once one has all of the information. But of course, if one is not fully informed, then could be a lot of speculation, or they might not see the dots at all. But again, at any given time, it's for those that can see, that it resonates with, and it's part of their instilling more of the divine knowledge in the recognition of these events. And quickly, this time has been spoken about, at least in the Bible with Christianity, that the signs would be in the skies. And you have never seen so many signs as you see now in the skies. And many, every time you look up, there's rainbows, different phenomenon that are showing. So it's unmistakable and it cannot be denounced, and it is very real. I'll stop there so I don't ramble. Go ahead.
Yes, so also the people are asking, and they send me also the video. Some they are not able to understand what exactly it is, the fifth dimension. So on my side, I am very happy that I see right now the message is coming. But they are asking exactly what it is, the fifth dimension, because they are so mixed if it is about the fifth dimension, that it is that will bring us immortal, or it is the light body, and the light body will start on the fifth dimension, or so this is their question. They are not exactly able to see when we refer to the fifth dimension exactly what we are saying.
the way that all creation works is very complicated, if you will. And this is why the knowledge is released to the individuals upon Earth incrementally. So there are groups, if you will, and waves again of levels of consciousness. What we do is from where we are here, the next step, the next incremental um, place of existence is what we call, what I refer to, and many, as a fifth dimensional state of existence. And what that entails and encompasses is a state of purity and alignment with the individuals to do everything that is virtuous and, importantly, what is morally correct. And one of the reasons for this, everyone needs to change if they have not already to be the best that they can be in their morality and their into their virtue. So this is why, as well, many are subjugated in their realities to their tests and what have you, so that they change their old ways to become the new for this new reality we're creating. In this new reality that we're creating, there is no negativity, there is no concealment, there is no deception. So everyone here needs to get it worked out of them. They need to change their ways, which they're doing, to create this new fifth dimensional energetic environment, to keep it simple. But it doesn't stop there. You need to remember you have many levels of consciousness, waves that are all here at one time. But with each wave of consciousness is the divine abilities and to the degree that their co creational powers are bestowed upon them as a result of them doing the work to be prepared to receive these gifts. And not each, it's very important for each not to compare yourself with another, because what's also occurring, there are many different divine individual designations that are connected to the roles that each plays at taking this full planetary ascension into the highest fruition. So this will mean each one has a specific divine role to play to affect this overall. But what we're doing, it all converges with it. So you cannot compare yourself to another. You follow your inner guidance and you always do the best and the most virtuous and moral ways. And what this also does, it keeps you in an elevated level of existence here where you have passed the test and you don't need to keep repeating and forgetting things and get caught up in drama and negativity. We're here to create the positive world, not the negative world. So that's why each needs to be changed, because you are also the example of this new world. Now, really, I need to go quickly to ones may have come across the analogy where one enlightened one will affect a million in good ways. So if you look at that and do the math, it would suggest that you only need perhaps 6,000 enlightened ones all in unison to cause the planetary shift forward. And GPMS is the vehicle for this because it is the whole new reality. It's all inclusive. So all we need is the brothers and sisters that are enlightened and in their power enough to come together, and it creates a flash, if you will. It's the hundredth monkey effect. So when we say, all right, we need a majority of 4.1 billion, but in reality, all we need is these enlightened ones, masters and teachers and guides, to all come together in unity, and it attracts these 6 billion very quickly. It's the 100th monkey effect that is set off. So, what we do is keep everything refined towards that goal and don't deter, don't waver from it. It's so important for each one. We still have this dense environment, but don't let it control you. You need to keep in your divinity, in your purity, and don't let this lower reality dictate your actions. If it frustrates you or what have you, then you're going to keep down in that and you're going to keep attracting like things. So you keep yourself simple, connected to Father God, prime creator. We're going upward and do everything positive, moral, and virtuous. Thank you.
Yes, there is a belief that the people need to be on the fifth dimension, then the planet will shift from the three dimension on the fifth dimension. And also others understand that we are already on the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, so we are still not on the fifth, and they are asking at this time what it is the dimension of the planet. It is the dimension on the fourth, on the fifth, where it is, and practically, the question here it is the people influence the planet to be on the fifth dimension, even though they are not on the fifth dimension, or it is the planet that influence the people, or what really happens?
It's all together, it's all one. So it depends upon the people, the souls in alignment with Earth, with planet, with Mother, with Gaia, and also in alignment with God, prime creator, the Father aspect of God. And it's both right now. We're in the fourth and the fifth, but also there are higher levels of existence by divine brothers and sisters that are here that will be in, let's say, sixth or seventh, even higher state of dimensional consciousness and also in their reality doing their jobs. So right now there is no more third dimension. It's all fourth and fifth as we transition all of humanity, human souls, I will say, the darkness don't go into the fifth dimensional state. But it's an inside job by each individual to purify themselves, to acclimatize, and to be able to sustain a reality in a fifth dimensional state where there is no deceptive, no lower density, no negative acts, if you will. So again, it's all in the same that each one is connected to Earth, to Gaia, and each one is connected to Father. So you're connected to Mother and Father, and you do the right things, and it is important to do the right things because that is the purity. All of this foundations of one's core values have been they're integrated throughout faiths and beliefs and prophecies and religions worldwide. These are your core values. You for many, the the intrinsic morality was corrupted. It was taken from them. It was falsified. And one example of that true morality right at this time is not to accept this worldwide system, which is cruel, which is directly killing many children each day worldwide and even many adults. That is a savage system, but it's also morally corrupt. But what's more important with each individual, if they continue to support the system, the current worldwide system we have here, and be a part of it. And if they don't stand up and say, no, the system is wrong, then they are morally corrupted by it and they're not standing in to the true morality. But again, with many, with the great awakening, before they're awakened, they accept it as status quo. They have these ridiculous things. This is just the way it is, and they don't know that they don't know yet. This is the thing. But we do know, and the higher levels of us are very real. We're very here, and we're here to let them know as well, because they are a part of this new world that we are creating. Yes, you may say there's a hierarchy and a leadership with it, and a guidance. Yes, that is very true. There is a hierarchy until all of you are out of this reality, all of us. And the moment that you respect and know that there is a higher God, that you are not the full God on this, or goddess on this planet. The moment that you know that you don't have the absolute free will, that there is a superior abstract conscious entity known as Mother and Father God, once you know that, then you realize how very small that you are. Yes, you are divine. However, you don't have the full free will. You have a free will of choice to choose what is right and excel, or to choose what is wrong and descend. And you create many things for yourself, unnecessary things. Thank you.
Yeah, so the planet is right now on the fifth dimension, because some of them, they are saying no, right now it's already on the sixth dimension, and others are saying the planet cannot be on the fifth dimension because we are still on the fourth dimension. So the planet, we create everything that's where the planet is going. So what it is the dimension that where it is the planet Earth at this
Well,
time?
let's don't restrict it. Let's say it's all of those, because truly it is. It's fourth, fifth, sixth, and as I said, perhaps seventh dimension. And it's beautiful to keep reaching for the top. Perhaps it's the 10th dimension, but it if you will, it doesn't matter. We are going to purity, and that is the next dimension above this hell, this purgatory that everyone is in, doing their final lessons. So we emerge into the heaven on earth. So you can give it identity labels like numbers, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension, but it doesn't matter with those numbers. It is what it is. The next level from here is heaven on earth, whether it be number 1,700,000, or whether it be the fifth dimension. These are only identity labels for ones to envision and have a sense and direction of going forward to better themselves and purify themselves. So you can get hung up onto some of the numbers, but what I'm saying, don't restrict and don't limit yourself by that. The whole idea is to become as perfectly moral as you can and virtuous and do the right thing. Thank you.
Yes, Emily.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I downloaded my own message for this meeting, and my message is it's in alignment with what Rick is saying, but there's some obvious truths that I just feel compelled to state here. When I woke up today, the message I'm getting is that all of this perpetual harm is literally self-inflicted, because on a very deep level, people were programmed to be okay with being mistreated. They were programmed to be okay with the current reality. They were programmed to believe that this was as good as it's ever going to get. And it's a self-inflicting system. You are literally hurting yourself every day that you continue to repeat it. And as far as lessons are concerned, I don't have any more lessons to learn. I mean, do I need to just die again a couple of more times? I don't resonate with that one bit. This continual, perpetual loop, that's all it is. The minute people break out of it and realize that they are an individual, unique expression of God source energy. This is all over with. And that we truly do have a choice in what is going on in our world. This is our world. So I'm going to take that personal when that is spoken to me, because it is very personal. This is my reality. And I have the right to say, that is not okay with me. I do not consent for that for me, because I love myself more than what the system is offering me. The system does not offer me freedom. It offers oppression, more systemic abuse, more ridiculousness, an entrapment that I have to go and give my life away to support the corporation. That's not for me. And the children, they know it's not for them. So I'm really, 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 really hoping that this 16-year karmic, maybe even 19-year karmic cycle that I've been in, that's coming to a close, will finally open the gates for everybody. And if I've been a part of something that I didn't have the awareness of, there's nothing I can do about that, because everybody is all a part of this. But to continue to be okay with supporting politics, supporting the governments, these false authorities that think that they have ownership of us, you can't own a living being. No one can. I don't belong to people. I'm not a commodity to be traded or sold or argued about.
Yeah.
None are. And these programs that conditioned us to believe that this is all we're ever worth, is to go and beg a bank for money for a home, to go and ask a social worker to help me access my abundance. Wait a minute. This is not a game to me. I take this rather serious, and it is a heartfelt thing for me. And when I hear people talk about it, they're talking about me. And it is my divine role to be true to myself, to stay authentic to Emily, and to be what God created me to be, whether people like that or not. I can't be the people pleaser anymore. It isn't working for me. It's actually hurting me. So I have to break out of those cycles and out of those patterns just to, I don't know, help somebody else. I hope that helps somebody else. It's literally self-inflicting harm is what I witness every single day. And I don't know what to do about it, because the only person I'm responsible for is myself. Right? Right? Nobody's responsible for Emily, just Emily. I hope my message helps. And I sometimes wonder, how much longer this can go on. It feels like I'm being violated daily, because this isn't what I want for myself. And I don't know why anybody else would want it for their self. So.
Yes, so when also our rights are violated because of the system, how we can feel every day, living every day on the actual system. What it is beautiful, it is what Rick also said, that one may influence 1 million, but it's not necessarily 1 million from the area where he's living. So I believe that via the videos, via the accounts that right now started to pop up, freedom accounts with GPMS at this time, and gathering consent and everything, it is about that one will influence 1 million. It does not matter where on the planet. And then other people will be attracted, and then they will start. Because what I can see also with Uganda at this time, it is about just the other one that is coming. And when I let them know that there are already groups, and they are saying, oh, I have also a mini group, then I can start. So yes, for sure, be in your shoes, and start. So we'll have a lot of GPMS groups freedom accounts, and will be not possible for each of us to be on all these freedom accounts. And this is just amazing, because everything that I said a couple of years ago, then we need to pop up our Freedom accounts and share GPMS message and also gathering consent. So right now this start to happen. Yes, it was Rick before Emily. Yes, Rick.
Oh, thank you, Beatrice. It's important as we get more excitement and enthusiasm with GPMS and what Beatrice was alluding to. We're getting more groups, and let's call them teams. They're becoming organized and, getting their representatives noticed and selected, but all coming together as teams. But it's very important for all right at this time, once again, to remember when you consent to GPMS, there is an attached decree. It's an agreement, which is so important, and is each individual's guidance. So we don't need to bring it up. It's lengthy, but it is very important. Each one needs to know what you're consenting to, and it's all written there on the website, and there is the PDF that you can download. And so it's very important to know what you are doing, because also this decree that you are ratifying, that you are consenting with, that you are agreeing with, this is how you are to be in your most moral ways, if you will, and to do your best. This is your oath. This is your statement. So it's important to look at it this way, but also to know that it is the most important oath, decree, proclamation, agreement that every individual has ever made upon earth. It is the most powerful, the most absolute statement of autonomy and the individual sovereignty. So it's all inclusive that you are sovereign, but you're connected to the autonomy of the whole that GPMS creates. And with that does come a great divine moral responsibility and obligation. And with this, also, this is divinely energized, and part of what GPMS is, that when you have any that tries to deceive it and tries to lie and tries to enter into here, the truth is quickly revealed. They are exposed because GPMS is a pure divine energetic value that it repels the negativity. And this is another reason on the abstract energetic level why GPMS is absolute, it is supreme, it cannot be negotiated, compromised, any of those negative things. It is the absolute truth vehicle. So with that, everyone needs to realize what they're also doing, because you're making an oath with yourself, with God, and all of the other divine beings on earth. And if you break that oath, if you will, what you bring upon yourself, what you unleash upon yourself, is what we call the wrath of God. But this is also the self-infliction, what Emily had said. So what you do is you cause the harm to yourself. The wrath of God is not delivered directly from God in most cases. You activate that scenario upon yourself because you're going against something that is godly. So it's very important for ones to clean up their act. And this, we currently have a cleaning up act occurring in Uganda, and that's why mostly this conversation is coming out now. However, everything is a micro example of the macro. So when we successfully, Sister Beatrice and I and Lee and others involved with getting the Uganda situation with many allegations and perhaps false allegations. Once we get this straightened out there, it has the ripple effect on the rest of the world. Yes, it's tedious, hard work um, to reinstate and let ones know how serious their consent with GPMS is. We don't enforce it upon anyone, but it is our duty, divine duty, to let them know and to say, don't be so foolish and stop being nonsensical and trying to profit or have a personal gain from Gpms.world. It's not what it is. It's the exact opposite where everyone is going to be sharing. And you'll quickly put yourself under a very unusual negative circumstance each time that you, well, the first time that you try to go to it, because it sets off a series of cataclysmic events upon the one until you do the right thing. And atonement, making amends, is very real. It is the redemption. And I can say this, but once each one that perhaps have tried it in the past, when you try it, you confirm it for yourself. So I say this statement with truth, and I say it for any that are coming in to GPMS that may be dubious, doubtful, skeptical of it, always inquisitive, questioning the details and the mechanics. We can save them a lot of time by just looking at GPMS in your heart and looking at the positive things and focus on that, then that instills more of the divine knowing. This is a divine, it is the most powerful divine uh, energetic vehicle and real thing that has ever occurred on earth. And it's common sense to restore your morality. It has been compromised with many, but many have restored it, and they're rising above the illusion. I see Brother Dave got his hand up there. Thank you.
Yes, it is beautiful. Just it was Emily a little bit before that wanted to say something. Yes, Emily. No, okay. Yes, Dave, and also I read to the people also your message. It is about the Great Awakening Code of Ethics, and you gave to the people also a link there. Then I will insert also on this video later. Thank you to speak about the Code of Ethics, because this was exactly my next question. So you are just before it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, I thank you, Beatrice. I just want to mention that the truth follows the truth. And I recognize the power in the GPMS decree. I have it printed out and I do pass it out in our former Truth Center space. But I'm bringing attention to the GPM, or to the Great Awakening Code of Ethics that I came across probably 3 years ago, because it is additive to the power that one can amass with the decree, in that it very sternly puts forward the care for our brothers and sisters in this comprehensive document. So it's there if anybody needs it. It's on one of the tabs on our website. That represents the former Truth Center space that we used to administer for 4 years. So if it helps, it's there, and it's available. Thank you.
Yeah, I will add this by the end of the video. I will add exactly, I will link to your discussion. And also, Rick, because we are speaking about invention and good new technology that is coming. Some people reaction, they are afraid when I'm saying, oh, again, technology, no, they reject because they experience a bad one inside of the vaccination program and everything. But others are just moving forward and they are asking more training, to be adapted to the new world and everything. But there are also people that they wake up towards the connection with the divinity, but others, they refuse that. And among those that they reject that they are connected with an external divinity, it is also a group, interesting group from Romania about the inventors that they want to bring forward the new technology, and they believe only that they are the creator, and they can create everything, and practically they recognize the creator inside of them, as we have all the universe inside of us, but at the same time they reject that there could be an external creator somewhere. And practically they are not really full aligned with the universal laws, and the people question inside of GPMS, I hear that in Romania, the people question exactly the code of ethics. When we do not have implemented the GPMS in the world, and practically we have not the universal natural law implemented, and we know that the actual code of ethics is not enough. They can bring forward a lot of bad technology at the same time. So what could be the credibility on this, on their products and on services, or, because the temptation right now is towards the new technology, but what it is good, what is not, because we see right now that some inventors, they believe that they are everything on the earth, and also in the universe, and they have no external creator. There is no another creator, so they rejected GPMS also based on that.
Well, thank you. Before you go on, because there's so much I can say. First, let's look at uh, morality. And I need to use this as an example. Then I'm going to jump to codes of ethics. Now, when we look at morality, I know we all can agree, as I explained first in this meeting, that there appears to be two senses of morality. So, one is a false sense of morality that most have been programmed into what Emily was speaking about, and they do not know they are morally corrupt. So, having said this, you can take the same application to the code of ethics. And when you look at corporations, they have a certain code of ethics. But let's use the mounted police in Canada. In their oath, if you will, years ago, it was for the people, but perhaps maybe 7, 8 years ago, don't hold me to this. What Canada did was change the oath for the mounted police in Canada to have the full allegiance to the corporation, to the crown. Now, what this did, the police that were supposed to protect the people with their new oath had to do a new oath to protect the crown and leave the people, at bay. So when you look at codes of ethics, if you will, you need to discern them, and you need to dissect them to really look at if they have the full core value moral foundation, or is it a false representation? Is it a fallacy? So this needs to be determined by each as well. And again, for most, this takes a level of consciousness to be able to see, to identify, and to see this. And this level of consciousness, when one obtains that, they are beginning their awakening. Now, it's very normal for ones on their divine path at thinking that they are the God, that they are the only creator. And this is a very important and integral part of one's divine um, development, if you will. And with these ones, yes, you need to know this because that you are a god or a goddess, because it is your divine designation. However, once you know this, you can say that this is a selfish part of your journey, but a selfish part in a good way of knowing more of your abilities and your divinity. However, this is the first part of a stage of going to selflessness and the divine humility at knowing that there is an actual absolute supreme conscious entity known as God, Mother, and Father. So these ones that are in the stages, yes, it is correct in the sense that we are the gods and the goddesses. However, very quickly, when you look at if you are the gods and the goddesses, why are you even in this world? Why would you not be in the heaven on earth? So when you ask that question, very simply, you know that you're not the full powerful God and goddess that you think that you are, and that there is a missing link. And that missing link is your attachment to the supreme and almighty, omnipotent God and mother and father. And believe me, I sit here and I know it. I have never, I was always, when I was not awakened in my divinity, and of course that was the divine way, I was a pompous, egotistical Rick. I'm my own God in my own reality. But when I was humbled, if you will, before Father in my great innocence, I fell to my knees and feeling the full presence of God. But it's also the beauty of knowing that God is real, and that's where the real power comes from, and that we only had to be connected to it. So ones will be humbled by the abstract force. And so, with all of that, what you said, ones need to discern, are the codes of ethics, are they foundationed in the absolute moral, virtuous content, if you will? And again, to do that, uh, for the ones, look in your heart. What is right and what serves the betterment of all. It's not about what serves the betterment of self, because that is the lesser state of being, and that is the problem upon the planet, the selfishness and the greed and the competition and everything that is connected with that state. So you don't want to do that. What you want to be is in full community and full harmony with the others, because again, you create disharmony into the energetic environment. And as a co creator here, it's nonsense and foolish to create or effect a dense environment. It implodes upon you. So these are only just some words of guidance of in respect to that. I see Sister Emily has her hand up. Thank you.
Yeah, I like to put things in simple terms, man, because it seems like people just everywhere, the more complex you make it, the harder it is for them to understand what is being said. So in simple terms, a code of ethics for me is communication, teamwork, all working towards achieving the same goal. Forget about yourself for a minute. You're not even here. You're not even part of the equation. You're here for other people. I know that's why I'm here. I know that's why I'm here. I've already unpacked that in myself. And it's just simple teamwork, communication, love, compassion, empathy. Do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. Simple, basic, scriptural principles. Some of these principles have been ingrained in us since we were children, and for good reason. Okay, I know that there is a lot of ridiculousness when it comes to religions and all those programmings, but there was good in it too, for crying out loud. I mean, I come from a generation that if I was out of alignment and my grandmother knew it, she would straighten me out. She would not hesitate to straighten me out. Little girl, you are not doing it right. Little one, you need help. Little one, and I don't see those things as a bad thing. I see those things as things that made me who I am today. I literally hold on to some of these principles because they impacted me as a small girl, and they're still impacting me today. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Simple, easy. I try so hard to come from a place of simplicity, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know how to do it anymore. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. And then I'll go look at myself and start blaming myself for everything that isn't working out. And I'm sick of doing that. I'm really sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm like, okay, where is this hamster wheel of get better, Emily? How do I get off of that hamster wheel? Because everybody wants Emily to get better, 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 better. And I'm like, okay, can you all look at yourselves for a second? Just for a second. Take the focus off of me, because I don't want to be your distraction. I don't want to be the reason that you're not focusing on you. That's not my intention for helping people. My intention is to help you see that you are, in fact, the God, the goddess, just like I am. And we all have this ability within ourselves to respect that. I know I do. I'm going to respect each and every single one of you because you have the same divine gifts that I do, likely, very likely. So I just extend my heart and my gratitude out to the world for them to make a better decision and choose themselves. Choose themselves, man. For once, choose us, the people.
Yes, so I was, our last meeting, it was by September 15, 2024. And since that time, I was also door to door for other 2,500 cards, GPMS cards that I share. And it's growing. The situation about the training, Rick, it's growing right now, because when I'm telling to the people, yes, there is a good technology that will come, and we will need the people practically to be there and to be involved on the training and to move forward, because it will be like a transition period of time. So, and the people are asking, okay, please, can you add links for training for this new technology? Because they want to become more and more towards this direction and to have like a new specialization or something, like, to see what happens. And, I don't know, I know that GPMS, it's the referendum, and this will be too much for us to be able even to make a list of the invention that were hidden from the human race. It's about 6,000 in reality. So this will be an extremely long PDF. But at the same time, if we may help them with a sort of link for trainings, if there are trainings somewhere at this time, I do not know how to help them on this way.
What I wish to say in respect to that, first, you know, we use the number sometimes of 6,000 new technologies, but really the truth of that is that the actual number, and again, it doesn't matter if it is or not. When you look at the current technology that humanity knows about on Earth, it's more than enough now. It's just with the money and who controls it. So once this is changed as well, it changes the whole environment. And I like to say that, 3D printers, water purification technology, air purification technology. All of these things, or at least the prototypes, are already introduced there. Electromagnetic gravitation, electromagnetic gravity defying technology is already here with Japanese. The robotics, you know how they already show you they make humanoids robotics. And so, what it needs to say is a lot of this is here. And yes, more of it will come, but it's not so important for ones to be, let's say, fixated on training and in this old system and learning about it, because this old system doesn't facilitate the higher learning that will come very soon with this. It's a good idea to become familiar with a lot of these technologies, and with the individual, you may be guided or directed by your divine interest towards learning about scalar technology, laser energies, um, replicators, and all of these things. So again, don't put everything in a box, and don't it's important not to think that you'll be learning about it in this current world where you got to have diplomas and classes and all of that. It comes so much easier in the new world. So, yes, there's a lot of technology, but truthfully and openly, with all of the technology that is currently known to publicly to man now, it's more than enough to put this world in pristine proportions and to advance it fully forward. That is why GPMS is here now. The gravy and fringe benefits of GPMS arrive organically, and yes, many very pleasant surprises. So, with that, that is what I was going to say with that. If I can, if did that answer it fully, Beatrice? I wanted to change the
Yes,
subject.
yes, sure. I will make also clips. We have a
Mhm.
lot of clips also to be to be done if somebody wants to work also on clips,
Yeah.
because we have the Europe
Oh,
meetings, we have a
yeah.
lot of meetings.
I have. Oh, also, I do have more to say on this. You know, the individual inventors, if you will, that are still in the lower dimensional consciousness and the selfish ownership of it. You know, they may been divinely, let's say, given the message and the technology to invent, but these are not for the individuals to commercialize and profit off. That is all going to be eradicated. These technologies are to be shared with all worldwide. And the free energy devices, there are so many different prototypes of these that are already as well upon earth. And with this, what was going on is the old corporate capitalism at charging ones for utilities and things, because it is all part of the old and part of the control, with them flipping the switch when they want to put the power off on you, just to say, I'm the guy with the switch. But with the free energy devices, everyone is self sustained, if you will. But this technology is also here. And anyone that is inventing anything now, it's not for their selfish greed and to profit off of. So if they think they have an ownership of that, no, it's to be shared freely worldwide with humanity. Now, with that, many that would watch this, they might not agree with that. But what I'm saying is, you will come to find that I'm very truthfully right in what I'm saying. So with this, don't let this be a hindrance as well. If someone's got an invention and they want to charge $20,000 for it, they are just still part of that old that is breaking down, and all of these things become free for humanity. Brother Frank, he had put out, I'm going to change the topic now. Brother Frank put up a very important post or comment that I saw, I don't know, about a week ago with the British Columbia election, which I love to see. And if I understood it correctly, Frank, um, what you had said is that the voter turnout in the provincial British Columbia election was that I believe the majority did not vote of the populace of British Columbia. So, if that is the case, that is another very significant factor at showing, uh, on a micro example, how the majority of the people no longer supports any form of government. I'll let Frank speak right now, and we'll add a little more to the importance of this. But let's get some more facts before we go forward. Thank you. Go ahead, brother Frank.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I just want to, that was something I saw on an early, say, comment on a post somewhere. And so now what I see in the papers and stuff being reported was there's like 55% turnout, right? That kind of thing. So I don't know if it was, I don't know what is true or false or whatever, but initially that was what I read was things was below the majority, and then now it's turning around to be reported as being like just over the majority. So, but yeah, no, you're right about the point that like there's a lot of disgruntled people out there with politics and trying to find another way, I guess, and not knowing what that way is what people are stuck in right now, I think. But yeah, thanks.
This is very, very interesting. This is very interesting, and the same discussion I hear also on the freedom groups, Rick, not only from what Frank is saying is just true, also in another corner of the world. So practically, when we do not have even the 50% of the people that they vote, how the vote can be available, it's like, you take 20% of the people or 30% of the people as a echantillon for all others, because probably only this percentage will vote. I cannot then extrapolate or what are they doing there, because practically we have a lot of population that it's not going to vote, so they reject the vote already. They are not interested. And this is also the question about the selection of Trump on November 5th. If enough people are going to the vote to express the selection of Trump or not, because there we know it's not an election. And this will be reported as if the people move forward, like with, on the good path, or they remain attached to the old. And this percentage that will be less than 50%, that practically the people will go to the vote, will be like an echantillon considered over the United States that can be also extrapolated to the world, because as I hear, the White Hats will do not allow the medbeds and the good new technology that we know it's old, but will enter as new one to be shared if the Trump vote will do not pass. So these are the discussion around. Yes, Rick.
Thank you. So let's look at this a little bit. So, with what Brother Frank had said, and what I'm openly saying is that they fudged the numbers in the news media to 55%. I believe what Frank, what you initially said, where you got that comment, um, I believe, yes, they did not have the majority. And what this means is that they could not really form any form of representation of the people in any form of a government with that. Um, so, having said this, this is a very important good sign when we see this, and it is a micro indicator of Canada now. It's one of the first micro indicators for I that Canada is ready for GPMS. Let me say the US was ready for GPMS long ago. However, because of the programming and also the false storylines to keep ones away intentionally from the higher truth. So, through the conversations, what they will pump out is false narratives to flood the conversation content in all the social medias worldwide to steer ones away from the absolute truth. And it's the way that the darkness controls and steers the consciousness, if you will. It is the programming and the brainwashing. But getting back to this again, in 2016, Trump at that time, it was only a little bit over half of the voter populace or the eligible voters in the US that actually voted in that election. So back in 2016, the US was ready then, if you will, to crumble. And there was perhaps numbers that were not reported correctly with it. Trump did get in, and Trump got in under a divine mandate at that time of 2016 to unseal all of the indictments and to take the full liberation forward. What occurred, he got corrupted, if you will, in some way. And then it become the good cop, bad cop, both of them go to bed scenario with this to keep and maintain the control of the people. And then what we have seen in the last 4 years, the real truth is that there is no white hat contingent that is in control. If it was, why did all of the shenanigans play out over the last 4 years and still continue? And when you look at Carolina, North Carolina as an example, did you see a white hat military coming in there and assisting all the people? No. Go on the ground and ask their people what they experienced. Very little to no outside help from any military or any force. It was the people themselves that did this, that come in and assisted them. So this is a grave wake up call for ones as well that are believing the false hope and putting their faith and their dependency on someone else that is not there and transparent. When you look at GPMS, we are transparent with our 72 panel. We put everything out publicly. We are real. You see the real faces of the guardians of GPMS. You see the real leadership. Do you see this in any of the other narratives? No, you don't. It's the truth of this. And ones need to wake up to this realization how they had the wool pulled over their eyes, if you will. How many times must they be fooled before they wake up and do what is sensible? Now, going back to another reason why GPMS is being done worldwide through a vote is because a majority vote, is lawful. Now, also, we have the questions from ones that would say, why do we need a majority? Well, you need the majority to represent the people. Without that, we do not have it. That is a moral concept of agreement. But we do know that we are going to have it, but we have to put this out for the people to logically make sense and to have a goal to go towards. If we said GPMS just is, you don't have anyone consenting or joining it. They're in a state of false promise, in a state of false expectation where they don't do anything to make it happen. So you need these directions, and this is one of the reasons why we have this. So getting back to realistically and truthfully and down to earth, what happened in British Columbia, I'm guessing that the turnout probably was 45 or 46%. But because of the corporate's great fear, they have to fudge the numbers, because if they don't have any support, and it would cause further turmoil and a rapid collapse. But nevertheless, everyone does know that numbers are fudged, elections were manipulated. You all know that. You've all had that experience. So you know not to trust the numbers, trust the people that are on the ground. And again, in North Carolina, trust the people that were there and that are there at ground zero. And they will tell you the truth. There are no white knights, white hats coming out of the sky that is saving them. So, where are these infamous white hats? Where is this whole contingent? Where are they? We don't see them because they're not there. It's an illusion. What you do see is the truth, the transparency, the authentic, real ones, which are us, that are out there. And we are growing because we are the absolute divine designees to do this and take it forward. So, yes, it's been a tedious journey with this so far, but we persevere. And we persevere because this is God's will. So it doesn't matter how many false stories, false narratives, and uh, political campaign promises that they put out there. It doesn't matter. People can only be fooled so many times before they wake up to the actual deception and lies. And that's what's occurring now. Thank you. I see others have their hands up here.
Yes, so it is also Emily and Frank.
I'm so sorry. I just forget to take my hand down whenever I'm finished speaking.
Yeah, so yes, Frank.
Yeah, so what Rick was kind of saying there and getting to, I think it's like, I don't know, my opinion or whatever. It's like, seems like the all the stories and narratives out there just keep people kind of distracted and like complacent that in the old system, oh, it looks like it's working, and oh yeah, look, there's 55% voting, what can we do if we're the minority? And it kind of goes to, like, I think reinforce that how the truth of the majority rules is truth, because they like, if if the real truth got out that the minority was making all the power and control of for the politicians to proceed, then it would be more and more of an uprising of the majority saying, hold on a sec, why are we listening to people that are like being voted in by 20 or 30% of the population? Like, it would raise that question more. And I think that's a huge fear for the establishment, say that like we can't let the cat out of the bag, that you know what I mean, like it's a big fear for them that have the people uniting and uprising together. The uniting of everybody is their biggest fear, and GPMS brings that possibility to earth, right? So it's just getting the word out for people to come on board and say, yeah, no, I agree with do no harm to others. What's wrong with that? Let's give it a shot. It's better than what we got, you know? Thanks.
So Dina tried to reach us back. She was disconnected and probably she wants also to speak. But I do not know, the internet probably there, it's not. Okay, so she was able. Yes, Dina?
Hi. I think I don't know, all of a sudden I was hearing all of you just great. And then I don't have a button to raise my hand, and then I could barely hear you guys. So I didn't know, somehow I faded out. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Well, I'm Dina. I'm a representative for America, and I am honored to be here. We were talking, I guess, what I picked up was because I hearing exactly, but about the morals. Um, just an example, when I see trash, I bend down and pick it up. And I teach my children, if you see trash, pick it up. And my 7-year-old will say, grandson will say, I didn't do that. That's not mine. And I'm like, we are all one. Everybody you see is your brother and sister. We are all one. Some may not realize it yet, but we are one. We are not separate. America is really important at this time for Gpms.world, because they haven't been as humbled as the other countries, and and follow false hopes, because in a way you got a few crumbs of what they were offering, and so we're okay with it. Some are do better than others, and a lot still maybe want to feel a little more superior than other people, but really it's all about, that's a falsity. You want to feel good about yourself and who you are as a person for God of the Almighty, not to be superior to others, because it's a falsity. It's not real. And the ones here on the board, we all get this, and we are not here for ourselves. We're here for you. And I am in alignment with Divine Mother, and she wants all of you out there to know you are not alone. You are heard, and you matter. They hear what you need. This is their way. We are working for the Almighty. We're working for the divine. And we are here as voices for them to facilitate this great movement for heaven on earth. We all love you, and we are not separate. And we are here also. We have honed our divine gifts, and we are here to help you reach yours. And if you have issues with maybe fear, feeling alone and unworthy, we have tools to help you with that. So if you would like, we are here to help you. All you have to do is reach out and ask, and read about GPMS, and sign your name and your children's names. And the more you listen, the more your eyes, your third eye, your consciousness starts waking up, and you start realizing that this is the truth. This is the whole point of your whole existence, is this moment right now. And we are getting there. We are just at the cusp. The ones on the border, on the top of the mountain, let us help you get up there. You're on your way. We are here to help you. You're not alone. I'm Dina, and I'm here, and the rest of us are here. I'm not just for, it's for all around the world. So thank you. It is a blessing, and I am honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dina, that you spoke about all this, and also about the feeling that somebody may have that it is above another, because this is coming also with the actual leadership problem, that the people copy from the system, the leadership, they are coming on GPMS, they are not able to still, it does not matter. So the wording that they are saying may seem GPMS, but their action, we discover the actual leadership. And the actual leadership is the one that is bringing concurrence, also among groups and everything, and friction. And in reality, the correct leadership that it is with GPMS, that it is universal laws, it's exactly the opposite, that it's able to unite and to bring collaboration. Thank you so much to share that. And when we recognize this situation, we just need to empower the people and to share the truth. And we hope that the people around the world will start to hear the message about the leadership with universal natural law. Then from there, this sentiment that somebody could be above another will be not on the place. So, and the leadership provided will be extremely different. That will bring the people in collaboration. Yes, Rick.
Thank you, Beatrice. I'm so grateful, Brother Frank, because you brought in your last words, what I'd wanted to say, but it escaped. And what, very importantly, what Brother Frank described is that with the election again in BC, getting back to it, if they would have said the actual numbers of how many voted, because they know and everyone knows the power in numbers and the majority and the minority, if you will. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much, brother, because that is a very important point. And no one can refute nor deny the power in numbers. And at this time, the people, if you will, worldwide are the 99.5%, if you want to do it this way. And it's actually less than 0.5% are the ones that are trying to keep control over humanity. So, for example, in this election, what just occurred. No, they got to make it look like they're the majority, because if they don't, they are weak and it's revealed. So they put that illusion out that they had the majority numbers, but it's not the truth again. But it also supports and fully sustains how the majority does rule, and it is significant. And this is what another reason for the foundation of GPMS, where it's being done lawfully and logically in that respect. Um, with the leadership, that's such a gray, touchy area. And again, you know, you can put it in with hierarchical, but again, how can we avoid that? We be to the best of our abilities the guides and the direction to take it forward for others, and we are the teachers until we're all in that place where everyone is the teacher. So having said this, we are the divine designees to take ones into their full empowerment for everyone to be the teacher and stand side by side. But without any guardians or any leaders to that effect, there would be no direction to this new world. So we are not egotistical, egocentric leaders. We are ones that are compassionately assisting and purveying the information to our brothers and sisters to join us shoulder to shoulder in equality and harmony to create the new world. But without the examples like us and the peers, there is no direction. So it is divinely necessary to get us from point A to point B, or from point B to point A, where we're going, if you will. So I just wanted to add that. I see Sister Emily has her hand up again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rick. And what I'm going to say is it's kind of a touchstone off of what you're saying, but not really. So one of the greatest things, and I'm so grateful that I'm experiencing it, is that people will say, well, Emily, we don't have money in the new earth. And I'm immediately just profoundly moved that they know this, and I'm so grateful. And that's like for whatever reason, the people that have that awareness, it's like I witnessed some kind of, something there that says, well, we don't need Gpms.world. And they like try to tie the two together because there's no money in the new earth. And so then they're convinced, we're just all going to go there. And then I have to bring them back to earth and remind them that there was no system here for us to all come together where we created it, where we were responsible for ourselves. That didn't exist. It was always a codependent relationship on something outside of us. And we were just all sitting around in limbo waiting for something or someone to do something for us. And those days are over. The Gpms.world is literally the full-fledged accountability and responsibility that we've taken within ourselves to be responsible for ourselves and not wait, not rely on, and not be codependent on all these other fictitious ideologies that continue to enslave everybody. We're not waiting is the point. We're not waiting to get to the new earth to build the new earth. We've already built it, and it was built at Gpms.world. Whether there's money involved in the future or not, Gpms.world is the ark. It is the light vehicle that has been created, that has been created by us, the people, to ratify and establish our individual, unique, sovereign blueprint of God's source creator. It's the only place we have, and it was done by us. It is literally what takes us there. So I just wanted to add that in there. I'm so grateful people know that we don't have money in a higher timeline, but we're just not there yet. We still have to come together, like Rick was saying. That's one of God's, let's just say, prime creator father's keys to bridging all of us into this new harmonious, abundant place. It's the unity. It's going to be the key. It always was the key, and it's going to remain the key. Thank you so much to everybody being here today. My phone battery is going out, and I just feel re-energized after this meeting, and I really, really, truly, indeed did need every single one of you to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emily. Just few words regarding the leadership. Yes, you can say a lot, but yes, as Rick said, we will lead the people towards the GPMS knowledge and everything. But at the same time, when we lead the people, we should not act like a president or ambassador of a place that we have to control the area. If somebody moving in the area, we have to know. If not, we are asking why we were not invited to know that or to be part to choose something. So this kind of the situation should be understood it's part of the actual system, and any kind of the copy of the actual system in reality, it's coming against GPMS. And this is creating like, another group version that will copy and the attitude and everything, and this will bring forward a lot of discussion and the concurrence that will start and everything. So we are not here for that. Emily, do you like to say still something? No? Oh, it's the hand that it's up. Okay, it's not a problem. Yes, if somebody else wants to add something today. I had a very interesting meeting with somebody from Australia that was referred to me by the missing link, GC. He's also from Canada. And it was a pleasure to speak with him. And what I would say, regarding the awake people that are really already discovered the GPMS core principles and everything, and they are already working on that, and they have their perspective and their website and their development there. And so they are already advanced, even that they had no idea about GPMS. So practically they are aligned with GPMS to a very, very high point. And but when I ask about the referendum, because GPMS, it's a lot about the referendum, because the implementation of the true law and to eliminate these politics, artificial laws, pyramid scheme and everything. So everything that is coming as artificial in the world needs to pass via referendum. And practically, no, this is not supported there. So the way people still try to perform the core principle of the GPMS inside of the actor system, and they understand that the politics is not good. But at the same time, they try to move forward the sustainability and everything, the humanity towards the sustainability. So I would say that the real sustainability cannot be achieved when we still have this practically remain of even if Trump is coming and we had something like on November 5th, there will still be the common law, artificial, and the pyramid scheme and everything. So this cannot be achieved 100%. So this needs to pass still via the referendum, do not have politics involved and everything. What you can say, Eric, about that? Because, it's also the choice here of GPMS or not, or to continue of the platform that the awake people have. And they are in the good direction, but at the same time, they are crushed still until the, this artificial things will disappear from the actual system. So they try to make a way for the humanity, but the politics and everything that happens, the artificial is there. How this artificial influence any kind of good project? And practically, we know that everything starts from the rights and freedoms. And what we can tell them to only to choose GPMS, or what can be done more on this direction? Yes, Frank has a hand up.
Yeah, no, as you're talking there, something came to mind that I had thought of before, like, because it sounds like you're talking about like the current pyramid system, say, and how GPMS gains some steam to, increase the numbers and things like that. And what I came back to mind again was like, there's like we'd talked about before how we introduced GPMS to these like freedom influencers and stuff that are out there, and then they don't adopt it. We say they're controlled opposition, and what came to mind was like that, like labeling people that controlled opposition kind of demonizes them away from GPMS, and maybe they're like maybe their intent out there was good to like help, and then they kind of maybe go on their own path of doing their thing, and yeah, they might everybody has to find a way to live and survive in this current world and make some money and stuff like that. So I don't think we should really demonize them as controlled opposition for wanting to make money in the current way if their intentions are good for helping. But how do you identify if the good intentions or not? It's, I don't know, it's a little complicated, but I was thinking like to maybe acknowledge their good intentions and bring them closer to GPMS, and like we say, we're all equal. Like to bring everybody in more, to attract and bring more people in that are already established somehow, you know, instead of putting up a wall, like labeling them as their controlled opposition, and how to maybe look through it a bit or bring it united more. I don't know, something like that. Thanks.
Yes, Rick.
Thank you, Brother Frank. You're absolutely correct. And, with this, it's important for ones not to project that they are controlled opposition. However, it's a hard thing, and at times I need to state it because these ones that are not in alignment yet, they need to look, they need to know what they're looking like to the rest and how it's not acceptable. So the hard judgment, if you will, is placed upon these ones, giving them the chance, if you will, to clean up their act. And you may ask, or ones may ask, who am I to judge? Well, for I need to make these statements that I do, and I make them from a very good place. But having said this, it is what I am divinely designated to do, because we need to cull the purity from the deceit, if you will, and ones need to see what morally wrong with what these controlled oppositions are supporting. It needs to be broken down, because a lot of these controlled oppositions steer the herd and keep them maintained into the old control mechanism and the enslavement. Someone, if you will, has to do that dirty work and identify out there these ones that are part of the problem. They're not part of the solution, and they need to be identified so others can see how they're not in alignment, and their attributes that are not in alignment, that are disharmonic. But also it's a contradiction, if you will. It's a paradox, but you're absolutely correct, Brother Frank. And what I suggest for all, we give each one the benefit of the doubt, if you will. And it is their self judgment that is made by their actions and their deeds. So they already judge their self if they're a controlled opposition. There is no there is no defense or no plea of ignorance being bliss. When you have these leaders, they are designated leaders of the people to lead the people into the good things, not into the same old thing. And when you look at the competency of any leader, it is to do what is in the best interest for all people, where GPMS is the most highest, best interest for all humanity now. And for any genuine leader to reject that and not be able to see the logical construct of a referendum, and if they reject that and do not know about a majority, they cannot plead ignorance, and they cannot substantiate their situation by trying to tell people, we got to get a new system or we got to do something different or we'll go with where the money's at. These are all falsities and it needs to be identified to be broken down. And what I say, yes, ones will say that I'm judging them, but they already made the judgment. I'm just stating the fact of what their deeds are revealing and exposing. They have identified themselves as controlled opposition. When you have, I love the old buddy Sasha Stone, when you have him out there speaking what you would call a legalese, a language that most of the people don't even understand every second word what he's saying, but what he's promoting is that he's intelligent. And when Lee and I had a meeting with him to give him GPMS, and he ignores it and goes and tries to support Trump and all of this, he cannot plead ignorance on this. What it shows is that he is still into my sights and how he has judged himself as a controlled opposition. And he is not genuine because the most genuine thing is Gpms.world. And there is no excuse, especially from him, of ignorance to this fact. A majority rules, worldwide ratification and referendum. It's all over. With Sasha Stone, he said, how does this defeat the deep state? Well, I said we have the majority worldwide and we create the money for the majority. This renders the deep states um, money as valueless. It takes away all of their power and their ability to control people. GPMS is the answer. It imposes, it implodes and depowers fully the deep state, the cabal, by just gathering the majority worldwide that overpowers it organically. You don't need to get justice. You don't need to put a finger to it. Organically, most of the people, if you took a vote worldwide, they're going to tell you all they want is peace and harmony and they want abundance. They only want these good things. They don't want to fight, and nobody needs to fight for it. And this is ridiculous. It's nonsense. It's nonsensical. It's incompetency by one such as Sasha Stone. Now, hopefully, he will redeem himself from his own self judgment and get in line with GPMS. And also, this goes with Trump that he must, if he's a genuine leader, he must comply with GPMS and bring the people towards it. If not, he is a false prophet as well. And this is the truth of the matter. Please, I know you will take this clip, Beatrice, and put it out publicly later. I stand fully in everything I say as truth and I'm transparent. It goes out worldwide. And I don't say this from a place of conjecture or speculation. Everything is founded in fact and truth in what I say.
Yeah, so Frank, I'm involved in Telegram in a little bit like 150 freedom accounts. I accept everything that I have and accept GPMS. And I just was looking into them, and 85%, 90%, they are working for Trump's election. And many of them, they do not allow chat, or those that allow chat, they remove my right to post GPMS there.
Wow.
What kind of the leaders? So I will start to expose also. I can make a list and to expose them because they are also Canada, United States, also few
Right.
from Romania, 2 or 3 France or something like international, but the majority are Canada, United States. So how these leaders lead the people back in the artificial system, and they practically do not allow GPMS. to interfere and to give the people the truth. And the natural law, it's all about, if you are speaking the truth, you are moral. How moral are they with natural law? They are not. Yes, Dave.
Thank you. I just want to bring forth Rick's statement specifically. We do not need to fight. This statement can use a little augmentation. This has been proven for us historically by a divine brother named Mohandas K. Gandhi. He unconditionally demonstrated for us what civil disobedience looks like. And what we have before us now is 250,000 people on the path of civil disobedience. So that precisely and profoundly demonstrates the statement that Rick made. We do not need to fight. And it's a bit of a problem for people because they think there's an opposition that needs to be fought. They don't. They need to be walked away from and ignored. And so, like I say, our dear brother Mahatma Gandhi has shown that for us. So that's all I need to say. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. I'm just looking on if there could be a change, and I'm looking for more probably than 3 years or something like. There is no change there. They just uphold the actual structure. So they cannot improve even by the end of 2024. I hope that with the ascension, these leaders will start to move and look for other kind of the solution other than the politics. This is the reason that I'm still involved there on the way to see, observe what is happening. There is no change, Dave. There is no change with 150, accounts. 85%, 90% still uphold the artificial system. This is all about. So the freedom movement, speaking about the freedom movement, it is a lot to say at this time. I do not know how, yes, we go from there. We cannot pause there. We just can observe them. We do not interact, or even that we interact, this is going nowhere. We will pay attention to the ones that we meet again and again, so others or others, with thousand and thousand, and spread the message. This is everything that I'm doing too. There is no improvement from their side, and they are on the freedom movement, and they continue and continue and continue. And practically the attention of the people when they see a lot of groups of the freedom groups, it's like in practically the majority, it's only bringing forward that they uphold the actual artificial system in general. So the people are like, okay, who is GPMS? Just another group. So, not really, they are not really able to recognize. So the message cannot penetrate. It's very hard for the message to penetrate, for the correct message. Yes, Rick.
But connected to what you're saying, Beatrice, it all has to implode. Uh, all these groups has a certain amount of aggression, of fear in it. Aggression is fear, fighting. And when ones are in this deep aggression, especially their leaders are still in that deep fear, they cannot see the absolute simple solution, and they should not be the leaders. And this is another reason why we work from the bottom up, if you will, with the people that are able to see it, that are not in their deep ego, in their fear at leading the people astray. So, what you have in these groups is many uh, incompetent leaders, if you will, and hopefully a lot of them will quickly see what they're doing wrong. However, uh, we need to leave the course of events occur that begins to implode it again, time after time, with these freedom movements and their ventures through trial and error. They come to see that nothing works. So eventually, after so long, they will come aligned with what does work. But also, there's a huge extravagant event that is also occurring on an abstract level to implode all of this disillusionment and to break it down because it cannot continue forward. It's causing too much divine, it's causing too much chaos to the natural environment. So there
Exactly.
are abstract forces that are also breaking it down. So, regardless of what occurs here in the near term in the US election, whatever way that goes, regardless, it is all imploding. It doesn't matter. And we don't need to put our focus there again. We need to just keep our focus on gathering the brothers and sisters that are rising out of those ashes of the old and bring them shoulder to shoulder with us as we take all of the good ones forward that are going. And that's what it's all also designed to do, to show the ones that there is no exit in that old way, and that things must be changed and they must make the choice. So I just wanted to add that in there. Thank you.
Yeah, it is very important to know that there will be a corrections as soon as possible because it's really, really necessary. Yes, yes, Dina.
Hi, yes, on a positive note, I have noticed that the animals are acting more in a, I don't know, in a more of a loving way to each other. I have noticed that. And if you really pay attention and really ground yourself, you can feel the earth vibrating at a higher rate. And the skies are bringing in all these healing codes, even though the dark has gotten so good at covering the sun up, they can't fool the divine. No matter how hard they try, they're not going to be able to do it because everything they've done to put whatever in the water, the food, to just keep us asleep and not know who we are, we're still doing it. And then we're using what they used to tried against us, using it to help people wake up. So I love it. You know, we are doing, things are going really great. And, you know, there's a lot that want to pull us down, but that's okay. You know, we expect that. So we're here and we're going to be here for the long run. And for that, I got to go. I think my battery is dying and I need to get back upstairs, see about my kiddos. So
Yeah,
I
thank you
wanted
so
to
much.
thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much,
Dina.
Nick, and everybody, Emily, Frank. Thank you all. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so Frank is back. Yeah, so this is what I saw also with the video posted for the children and everything. The species that were fighting in the past, right now, we can see that they come together, loving each other, and a very loving interaction with humans at this time. So it's just more and more coming on this way. And this is amazing. And this is also probably part of the ascension, because also the animal, everything, so the ascension, planetary ascension and everything had also an impact on animals and everything that it is around, but it is just amazing. As I expected also to see new species of animals coming on Earth. I'm still not able to see the new ones, but I hear a little bit that this might happen. And we hope that this might happen soon and we will experience another privilege of collaboration with the animals and everything. This will be so great. If somebody wants to add something at this time for this meeting? It's about already 2 hours.
Did you have any more questions there, or did we answer all of those, Beatrice?
No, it's just to ask also help from the actual representative if the people can be engaged on making clips for the video, because also Dave asked on, a couple of weeks ago if we can come with more clips. So it is a very long time to pass for one video of 2 hours to make clips from. And probably many people should be involved, because we have a lot of good information inside of Europe meetings, inside of Barent meetings, also Renata meetings and everything. So the information, it is everywhere. And why I still insist on clips, it is because a lot of population still has not access to the full internet. They have data, and the small video, like up to 10 minutes, this help us a lot and them a lot. And it's like to work a little bit also on this direction. I will involve also more hours on this direction too, but if somebody wants to help, this would be just amazing.
Thank you, Beatrice, for all the dedicated, divine, hard work and hours you put into everything. It's greatly appreciated by all of us.
Yeah, thanks, Beatrice.
Thank you to everyone around me, because alone I cannot. I'm not saying we are nothing alone, but the power is in number, exactly as Rick is saying all the time.
Indeed, and we're doing it. What I wish to say for all, each one, it's your choices of what resonates with you. But what I also say, if you feel that, let's say, the RV, GCR, white hats, if you feel all of that is not truth, it's important for you in your own way to write and put that out publicly. And what occurs with the more that we have doing this, it's breaking down that false illusion. And at each time when the RV does not happen, what it does, people and divine souls that are ready to see the truth, they've already seen the truth where you say that it's not happening, that the white hats are not at least as strong as they say they are. And when you have this truth put out there, and as you see it every time with the promises that are given that never come to fruition, then it begins to destruct that false narrative much quicker as well. And the ones are not fooled and tricked into that deceptive submission with the false codependency, and the falsity, but also what it does by the more that's putting out this absolute truth into the social media conversations. What it also does is that this resistance facet that has a false narrative out there, it forces it to compete with the truth, and then it forces it to take much more desperate actions that it cannot give the return on. And what this does, it breaks it down much more rapidly. So every time that I speak the truth, if you will, which I do at different times in different ways on Facebook, you'll notice that the false narrative then will ramp up and give dates, and what they do is certain events that occur on the lower timelines, then they begin to manipulate that to try to substantiate their false narrative to say that it's happening and that it's real. but each time that we speak the truth, we are always correct that it's not real. So then, after a while, if you will, more come to see, and they're not tricked and fooled by it. But it's at each one's own choice and discretion at what you do.
Yeah,
So,
so you know that from the beginning I spoke about this situation in white hats because this is extremely present, Canada, United States, and also worldwide. It has a lot of influence. And I bring forward also a video in Romanian language. It's an audio in reality. And I spoke about how I developed the subject also there about the right of self-determination, that it is not chosen and not here by the white hats. And even that I insisted and I participated on some meetings, and I'm also sending messages to somebody that it is, Frank, there are two big speakers from the white hats. One is from the Marine, and I'm sending him the messages of GPMS, and he's not reading. So he posts
Right.
over my message. So he's very selected. When I post about GPMS, he does not like to read.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I ask about something else, so he's reading and he reply. And
So-
also he post over my post. So this is the attitude there. And I said, I was not, so why hats, it's about probably 50 million or something like, and people worldwide, but the concentration in the United States and also Canada. And I said, okay, I never was able to address this self-determination choice to everyone because it's not on my power to meet everybody on this way. But I meet few, and they are like a little bit like robots. They can see nothing than Trump, and they cannot detach. I tried with somebody. I said, okay, please get away from everything that you post. I know that you post more than 100 posts every day. White hats. So,
yeah,
but at the same time, uh, just go away from everything, and for 1 week. And after that, with a calm mind, think and read Gpms.world website. Make this exercise. He never replied back, but after that, he replied with a series of other white hats video that it's extremely too much. So they are not able to detach from what they are doing. So they are followers because the direction is there. So it's,
it's
this is the way.
a big machine. It's a bit of a machine they got going on.
Yes. So it is created, and the fight between the robot Biden that it's on their hand, that they play out because this is a play only, and the Trump, where the Trump, it's not the real Trump. It's about they have also a bad Trump and two good Trumps moving and creating a video and everything during the time that the people pass away. It's something that I never believed that this might happen, and I do not know how they can be stuck on this action. It's for me, it's not understandable. But anyway, yes, Rick.
well, thank you. For a moment, I'm just going to say, let's look at, we're supposedly under the white hat watch, if you will, for the last several years. But if we take what has occurred in the last 4 years and seeing many dying, why did this occur under a white hat control watch? Is it a movie? Is that's what they give the people? No, it's not a movie when you have family and friends that actually died. Come on. This is common sense. So if this white hat contingent, if this is what they're doing and it's part of their plan to allow many to die, that is not sensible. It's savage and it's not correct. But also, when you look at part of this other connected Jacera, Nacera,
Right.
uh, GCR in a reset of currencies. You know, some will say that, let's say, the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, the Zimbabwe dollar, whatever it's called now, I forget. You know, if all of these things have this huge value in all of these bonds that are connected to these countries, why can you go online right now and buy all of these currencies at ridiculous low prices? So, if this was true, the brokers that actually held this currency, if it's worth quad a gazillion dollars, why are they selling it for 69 US dollars? I mean, that should be a telltale sign as well that there's something not adding up here. And people don't need to be very intelligent if they just do a little bit of research into these two things. And again, going back to the white hats, they don't have any control. If they had control, you would see them out there publicly and transparently. Again, you don't. All that you really see out there is GPMS, the transparent, truthful panel of what is really doing this with GPMS, because it is the only way to do it, and it is the only genuine way. So all of the other things is just false. How many more times do we need to tell ones that they're caught into an illusion? It's not real. You know, they've been fooled thousands of times, perhaps hundreds of thousands of times in the last 20 years. You
Mhm.
know, at one time it was a good venture, but it got corrupted like everything in the past except for GPMS. It served a purpose at giving a direction and a guidance to a free world, but then it got all corrupted by greed and false stories and lies and deception. And you got these, you know, with God, God is transparent. That's why we are all here. We don't stay behind the scenes with false names and put info out, if you will, or what they call intel out with no one seeing who's doing it. When you see any concealment, this is not in alignment with God. So who are these real puppet masters that has the puppets that are saying, I received this intel and you know this is what's happening, yet worldwide many are suffering, more and more are suffering every minute, more and more are dying. So, if they are so powerful, why are they allowing all this to happen? So, all of these things and so many more doesn't make sense at all. And what it is a psyops program to keep one's complacent, believing in the false hope, the campaign promises, while the big ones carry out their ulterior agenda at depopulation.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, all part of the media, the illusion out there that's being fed to everybody. And it's just that, and then again, it comes back to that proves right there how the majority rules. And it's just a matter of getting the word of GPMS out there and people signing up for it, and just agreeing with, yeah, we want a peaceful, harmonious world. Like, why not? And just to compare the existing one to that, and like you say all the time, it's a no-brainer. But what it seems like, just people just can't believe it's that simple for some reason. They just kind of almost ignore it when it's introduced and don't believe it. It's maybe it's time, maybe it's like you say, it's a process to for everybody to finally see these false narratives play out longer to prove it more. Like, I just don't want to see things carry on worse and worse to do that, you know?
Exactly. You know what you'll see, and I know perhaps some of you here could attest to it. Um, once you're awakened, if you will, some of you might have received messages from Illuminati, if you will. Come join us, and here's all of the money and benefit. But what this is, it's showing ones how ones would sell their soul to the old system, but also be morally corrupted and their consciousness controlled as well. So it is about that manipulation of consciousness. And sadly enough, many of these prospective leaders of the people, speakers of the people, were bought by the old system. And this is how it works to get ones to believe in something. Again, because the darkness themselves cannot create, everything in reality is substantiated upon a belief. And again, that's why it's so important for the truth to be put out, because it destructs any of the Illuminati, the illusion, the deception that is out there. So I wanted to put that in as well because it's all about the programming and controlling the ones that were awakening. So when they begin to awaken, they're brought quickly. Oh, you're awakened. They're tricked into these programs. We got Jacera going on. This is why you're awakened, but it keeps them distracted from the higher truth. And this is all the tactics of the darkness in the past to watch and try to trick ones into a false awakening. So this is all being broken down. I see Brother Francisco has his hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to briefly, what you just mentioned about, I've seen videos like that all over social media. Come join the Illuminati, receive lots of wealth, fame. Just telling people don't get distracted by that. You're just being led into a big trap, being stuck into the old system rather than coming with us. This is the better way of life, the better way of living. We have to stay united and be very aware of traps just like that, as well as many controlled opposition groups. I mean, you'd be surprised how many controlled opposition there are. But we have to keep aware, keep fighting, keep uniting with people. But eventually, we're going to keep winning. Some people in other countries are more aware than others, but we just have to keep fighting and stay united. That's all I want to say.
Exactly.
Don't get distracted.
Thank you.
I'd like to add in there, it's so important for everyone to maintain a presence, at least on all of the main social medias that you are. And again, I'll reiterate that is so important because, there's been so many different social media platforms that were made, if you will, by the darkness to separate the ones, again, because they're afraid of the majority in the unity. So it's easier for the darkness to control humanity when they get them paranoid about their privacy and they say, oh, go to Telegram or go to Signal, go to MeWe, because it's all splitting the people up. So they're easier to control with the PSYOP brainwashing in the programs. So it's important that ones know that um, don't go into paranoia, don't have any fear, and keep your presence on whatever platforms you're on and speak the truth. Don't fall for these separation tricks. That's a tactic of the darkness: divide and conquer. And this is the reason they're doing it. If everyone wants to know the full truth, it doesn't matter what phone you're on, what computer you're on. It's all part of a system that the darkness can access it at any time. There is no privacy, if you will. And divinely with us, there doesn't need to be. And I enjoy speaking freely on anything that I do, the phone or what have you. But more importantly, it's important for ones not to fall for these separation tactics as well. And you'll see, I'll use Facebook as a funny example when awakened ones, and it's the majority, the feminine, that are in the higher knowing and higher awakened state, with this. And when they began to rise in their power, one thing that happens with them when they're on Facebook, then they began to get um, different messages from Facebook to try to intimidate and get them off of Facebook. So these are all by dark design, sending pictures of naked men and stuff to them, and all of these messages and what have you. It's all a dark tactic to get them off of Facebook, because Facebook is actually afraid of their power and their presence, their energetic presence there. And then, like for Facebook, the least amount of divine ones it has on there, then it's easier to manage and control the rest with the false information. But also, but it becomes funny how the darkness tries to frighten ones away, so they'll go to Signal or Telegram. But this is not just only the feminine; it's all, once the darkness or the remnants of darkness recognizes this. So I wanted to say that. Thank you.
Yes, Frank. Yes, Frank.
Oh yeah, I just when you were talking there, what came to mind was just never mind the darkness, the light can access it all too. So quit worrying about the darkness so much, you know what I mean? But and in saying that, I'm gonna have to take off because I got some other things to go do. But it's been enjoyed the meeting. Great to see everybody again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for to be here and to speak about and for GPMS. This is amazing, and thank you for the collaboration, because you try also to tell to the white hats that GPMS exists. Yeah, we were very, very rejected until now, but we hope that more people we may see from the white hats something may happen to some point, because right now practically we have already in GPMS from already a couple of months we have somebody from the Q Romania, and he was advised. So practically he heard my audio about self-determination. Then he told to others that he may reach me on my Zoom, and others told him from the Q movement in Romania, no, it's not possible what she's saying, she is an AI. Then she was coming to see if I'm real or AI, and right now, because I'm real, he's also in GPMS. So we may see right now we have also somebody that was working for NATO in Romania, and right now he believes that I'm under the NATO influence because he knows what happened there. So personally, I do not know because I was never involved with NATO, but he was. And he's saying that nothing can be true because the self-determination does not exist. So he's so programmed still and afraid of the NATO. And so practically he see everything that is not coming on the way to accept the actual 3D system, universities and everything. And the leadership and the political parties that he also wants to bring and to have like sort, not exactly a pyramid, but minimum something like a group that will govern the country. So everything that is coming against, so he tried to to put negativity against the people that move forward GPMS. Yeah, so this is also part of the negative side that is happening on the freedom movement, and I hope that this may start to be corrected, because as Rick said all the time, we get rid of the darkness, so the light won, but we are right now among the 99%, and the perception of the world, it's still keeping some, they have that intact, and they try to move forward via the freedom movement, upholding the artificial laws and everything, and this has to end somehow. So I do not know if this can be solved only by abstention, or but only ignore them. I cannot see improvement during the years. This is what I would like to address as message too.
Well, as I say, God is very real, so never exclude the miracles that can occur, and remain steadfast. I suggest for all in your faith and your trust in this. It's what takes us forward. And we do persevere. We're not given an exact time, but we do know, and still November the 15th to the 25th. That is still given to I from Father as very, very possible for the implementation of GPMS. So if that is to occur, perhaps, there is going to be great miracle or miracles to do that. But if not, we continue forward. I just cannot answer if it is exactly going to be, but what I'm given from Father, it's very possible. And we do need to keep a direction, a goal in front of us for the divine inspiration and incentive to take things forward. Without that, we have nothing. So we need that divine direction, if you will. And even though it's delivered through I with these dates to all, I stand with full trust and conviction in that, for I do know fully who I am. And upon this earth, it's perhaps no one knows better than I who I am. And it's the same as with Sister Beatrice. She knows she is real. Others try to say she's AI, but I know she's real as well, for we identify each other. But, with this, let's see. Let's see. We all can walk on water, and we're getting closer to that time. And how miraculous would that be? On the 15th of November, we all start levitating or walking on water. That would be a miracle as well that could
Wow, this would be
change.
great.
It would be. So we
Wow.
cannot exclude the power of God. I mean, we look at the Bible with things. Things are very real that did happen. Yes, things are manipulated. However, God is very real. Is what I say again. I've had my experiences and my knowing with the impossible things, what I needed to know and needed to see here, and I share it with all, and it is very real. And with that, I would not be here if I had any doubt that God was not real, and that GPMS is the new world. So I'm in full trust, full conviction, and it's up to each one with their right of self determination how much you are in your own truth and trust. So thank you.
Thank you so much for this message. It is extremely important, and just I let all the people to know that the actual number with GPMS is 250,000 and a little bit more. So we are just growing and growing, and yeah, so more people as representative are coming. I just bring another 3 from Uganda. 2 used to be also pastors and one is extremely engaged on bringing forward consents and everything. So remain united and please share the video, and thank you for everyone that participated on this video, and also to everyone that share the message of GPMS and also through this meeting, through this video. Yes, Rick.
I just wish to share, before we go, that we anticipate after November the 1st, sometime after there, to have a GPMS Europe or whatever you wish to call it, meeting as well. So we're having the North American one today, but we'll have the bigger one sometime after the 1st of November, and we will see with a 72 panel presentation. I feel that will be coming sometime, perhaps between the 1st and or the 2nd and the 25th of November. We need to leave some things play out with this, and we'll be divinely guided when that time is. And so I wanted to share that and thank you all for being
Yes.
here today, and love, light, and gratitude.
Yes, just a word about meetings too. So we have also tomorrow a meeting of Nigeria, approved GPMS, and a non-approved yet GPMS meeting in Uganda with a group that is still not full aligned, but some people from there, they are, some are not. So the group is in working. And thank you for everyone again that was presented today and collaborated to this meeting, and just to move forward. Thank you so much. I have a great day to everyone.
Thank you.